السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما. اللهم إني نسألك الإخلاص والقبول وأن تنفعنا اللهم بما نقول. اللهم أمين وبعد. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Tajweed101 course, simple step-by-step Tajweed course that enables you inshallah to learn how to read the Quran properly inshallah. Welcome, my name is Maghfira and I'm an online Quran teacher, and you're watching Maghfira 101, the place to learn and know and understand how to read the Quran properly inshallah and understand its meaning. And today inshallah we're going to continue on our course inshallah on the letters that are the two close. We are studying the relationship between the letters, and we mentioned that we have the two identical, which means that the two letters are exactly the same. And we did it on the previous video inshallah. I'll put them for you in the description box. And we studied the two similar, which are the two letters that have the same articulation point but even different on some of their characteristics. And today inshallah we're going to study the two close. And the two close, these are the letters that close in their articulation point and may have one or more characteristics. Okay, so they may have the same characteristics and they may have different characteristics, but the articulation point is so close to each other. The same as qaf and kaf. Qaf and kaf. Qaf and kaf are not articulated from the same part. As you know, we already finished qaf and kaf articulation point, and we knew that qaf is a little bit backward, kaf is forward, so they are both not articulated from the same articulation point. The same for dal and dad. Sisters think that the dal and dad are from the same articulation point, but they are not. Dal is from the tip of the tongue, dad is from the edges of the tongue. The same for ta and tha. Ta and tha. Ta is from the tip of the tongue with the gums, the elevated area of the gums, while the tha, the tip of the tongue, is with the teeth, upper and lower teeth together. So these letters may share and may have the same characteristics, but they are very close articulation point. The same as qaf and kaf, as I just said. And qaf, as he here, is a little bit backward, while kaf is forward. So qaf, withdraw the tongue to be touching the back part, while kaf touch the front part. Okay, meeting the two letters, maybe the two letters are voweled, which is the first letter is haraka and the second one is haraka. In this case will be clarity. And if the two letters, one of them is sukoon followed by the other one which is vowel, in this case insertion occurs. In this case we are going to have an insertion. So let's understand now the insertion in the two close. We have some details on this part. So we have, according to the reciters, some different point of view and some agreement points of view. Okay, so let's see some of them. Let's start with agreement points of view, okay, which is no one of the reciters gets, different point of view on this part, which is on lam and ra, between lam and ra, on qur rabbi. So lam and ra, they considered too close because al, they have close articulation point. They have, the tip of the tongue touching the part of the gums, but the lam is a little bit backward and ra is at front. So if we have lam followed by ra like this, وَقُرْ رَبِّي, in this case we have a complete insertion. Okay, so according to the Sibawayh, he's one of the scholars of Arabic grammar, he said that it is from the required insertion. It is one of the required insertion. So قُرْ رَبِّي, it's one of the required insertion. Okay, and this is concerning the agreement point of view. Okay, like this. And the other agreement point of view is letter qaf with kaf. Qaf with kaf. Okay, qaf and kaf, these are two close articulation point, have two close articulation point, and we mentioned that the popularity of the scholars agreed on inserting them completely together. So alam nakhluqkum, qaf and kaf together should be inserted, but differs after that where it is, like complete or incomplete insertion. So almost all of the reciters do it like insertion, but they make it, is a complete or incomplete as the following details. Sheikh Makki bin Abi Talib and Abu Bakr bin Mahran, these two scholars, agreed on making the insertion incomplete by leaving the elevation characteristics of qaf, like nakhluqkum, luqkum, the same as the insertion for the incomplete insertion, so we have to leave the elevation for qaf, then complete with the kaf sound like it's normal, as they following the point of view that there is impossible to insert completely two letters, one of them is heavy into the other one, which is the light. Okay, and the narration of Hafs and Asim from its two ways make it as a complete insertion. And as you may notice that they remove the haraka from qaf completely and make the kaf having shadda like this. Nakhluqkum, luqkum, luqkum, according to Hafs bin Asim. Okay, but Makki bin Abi Talib or Abu Bakr bin Muhran, they said that it will be incomplete insertion, so they have to leave the elevation of qaf and go to the kaf after that. Okay, from the agreement point of view, none of the reciters and of the narrators even differs on them. Insertion letters lam or letter lam in lam shamsiyya. You know that we have two types of lam, an alif and lam, which is the definite alif and lam. These two letter alif and lam are added to a word to turn it from indefinite to be a definite word. We have two types of this alif and lam, maybe qamariya or shamsiyya, sun lam and moon lam. And the reason for this naming is according to the way that we read ash-shams al-qamar. If we read the lam, it will be al-qamar. If we skip reading it and do insertion, it will be ash-shams, which is our issue here we are talking about. So lam shamsiyya, we have lam inserted into 13 letters, okay, because they are close in their articulation point with them, and these words or these letters are the beginning of this poem part. طب ثم صل روح من تفز ضف ذا نعم دع سوء ظن زر شريفا للكرم طاء ثاء صاد راء تاء ضاد ذا نون دال سين ظاء زاي شين and lam. These are the letters that when they come after the alif and lam, they should be insertion. Okay, so all of these are going to be insertion because of too close, except lam is going to be too identical. Okay, so for example, alladhi, in this case, lam and lam are insertion because of the two identical. Okay, we are still continue on the agreement point of view, okay, which are the noon sukoon rules with or tanween with the following letters, as we have to make them in a separate video. Inshallah, we're going to study it later in details, but this is considered as the two letters are so close. Okay, now we are going to have the difference point of view. The first one is insertion of letter ضاد into letter dal. فقد ضا. Okay, recitation by Hafs and Asim is done by clarity. Okay, so we have to read it by Hafs as فقد ضا قد ضا. Give every letter its characteristics and its everything. Okay, while on some reciters they used to make it as فقد ضل, make them as a complete or as an insertion. Okay, so let's focus on Hafs because this is our case now, and inshallah later on when we have studying the differences we're going to learn that, but this is from the different point of view. The same as كذبت ثا. Recitation by Hafs and Asim is done by clarity, making every letter clear, but some reciters do this as insertion. كذبت ثمود, they do it as inserting these together. So Hafs and Asim, okay, do a clarity, so we need to give every letter clear sound. Okay, means clarity, so we give its letter its haraka, then move to the next one. So by this we done alhamdulillah rabbil alameen all of the case of the two close. So jazakumullah khairan for your watching. Catch you the next lesson inshallah bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Hope you find it easy inshallah. Hope I can help you. Jazakumullah khairan for your watching. Catch you the next lesson bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Subhanak Allahumma rabbana wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.